always wonderful to have something exceed your expectations. And I sort of thought, well, Saturday afternoon, the crowd won't come, not too many people will come. And I was so wrong, and it makes me so happy to be so wrong. I tell you, it's just great to see you again. We have people from some of the other homes, like the Palms, and from Somerville. And anybody else I'm missing? How about Somerville? Oh, yes, yes. How about, let's see, what was the word? Oh, I tell you, it's just great to have you, and I just can't tell you how much I've appreciated the support of the sport too, of all the concerts this year. And I'm going to try to, I know I have 3 already for next year, and I have a cellist and pianist that you are going to just blow your mind. They played here, and I had never heard of them, and nobody advertised them. There were like 40 of us here, and that was all. It was some of the most exciting playing I ever heard. So I said, I went to next year for Spoleto, and we have now agreed, I think it's probably the 3rd concert, as I recall. So I'm working hard to not disappoint and always have something better. Today is very special because it's young people. You know, when Menotti started Spoleto, he did not want 2 things he wanted. He wanted the young people to be the artists, and we used to have people like Yo-Yo Ma, who hadn't made it yet, was just getting ready to make it. And Johnny T. wonderful pianist, who now has recorded practically all of the shows. That's what we used to have in Spoleto. Now we have college students and professionals, and it just runs like a business. And it's just, I'm just so sorry, because that was not what Menotti had in mind. And the other thing was that he wanted it to be a classical, not necessarily that he considered all music that is good music, but he did not want a jazz festival. Let someone else do a jazz festival in Newport, in New York, or someplace. And of course, I guess it was money. Money is what speaks. But anyway, we have a classical series out here at Franke, and I intend to do the same thing next year. But I think for Saturday and Sunday, this is just off the top of my head, and not much is there anymore. For the Saturday and Sunday concerts, I think what I will do is issue 3 tickets, but you have to pick them up at the Burgess Center, at the desk over here, send some to the Palms, send some to Somerville, and then if we run out of tickets, we call them and ask them if they have any left. Then bring them back and we have tickets. Because I really am distressed when you come on a hot day like this and can't find a place to sit down. That's bad. And we will not go to do this next year. I don't know yet how I'm going to solve it. I have one more problem I need your help with, and that is I invited the brass. And everybody was so thrilled about the brass, they stayed outside too long, and we got started late in here because they were listening out there, which I can't blame them for. They did this downtown all the time with the display. They had the brass outside of the church playing before some concert. And so I don't know how I'm going to handle that next year. So I have 2 problems to think about. And I appreciate any input that you can do. Today we have, as I have said, the dessert. We have the cherry on top of the ice cream, on top of the whipped cream, and maybe even a piece of cake. I have no idea, but it's going to be a different program. And it happens that the teacher of these 2 young people is here, and she is teaching both here and in Illinois. And I have asked her to just tell us a little bit about her school and how this got started. And I want to know why they're called the Bandolets. Does that mean they tear the place up? This is Kathy King Han.
I would like to thank Emily so much for including my students in her wonderful concert series. And we've actually been to several of them this go round, and we've enjoyed them so much. She certainly brings beautiful performers to her series, so we thank you very much, Emily. My name is Kathy King, and I've lived in Charleston for years. I taught at Ashley Hall for several years and lived in Mount Pleasant. And have recently, well, about 6 years ago, moved back to Chicago to work for a foundation called the Canterbury Foundation. And they support a performing arts school in Dixon, Illinois, in the farm community. And it has a very wide outreach program, and it supports music lessons for low-income children. And so I work on that project in Chicago, and I began missing Charleston so much. I started traveling here and began a school last fall here of Suzuki Violin. And we have a location on Daniel Island. And we've been doing, and also downtown at Hazel Parker Community Center, and then at Oak Wind School here. And we'll be expanding to piano eventually as I spend more time here. And Karen and Michael, the Vandalettes, I have been teaching for about 4 years, and I saw them as a great duo team, started putting them together as duo pianists, and they play in sync together better than any. I've taught a lot of children in my life, and so as we began to learn pieces, the first piece they learned together was by Robert Bandel, and that was a special piece to them, and that's how they named themselves the Vandalettes. Okay. And so as we began to play, I showed them some Victor Borg, and I said, what if we switch places on the bench right here, what if? And then, what if we do this? What if we do that? And it's expanded to a lot of drama in their playing. So some of the pieces will be just straight classical pieces, but the other ones will have some humor and some drama in them, and I think you'll know which ones those are. So, anything else, Emily, you would like me to say?
Thank you so much, Kathy. We really appreciate your bringing them. And now, without any other words, and my goodness, we've been a long time again today, too. I think you accused me last week, my daughter timed it, she said, Mom, you talk 7 minutes. I say always tell them 3. So without further ado, I introduce the Vandalettes from Illinois.